Now, actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon.
Got the whole world. Anything. Hey, I'm just sitting here on my porch just looking. What am I looking at? I'm looking to the hills from whence cometh my help. For my help, some of y'all know the rest. I just wanted to come on and just tell everybody, just be as calm as you can.
Hey man, I say my prayers and I'm a spiritual person. And I'm gonna let God settle all this craziness and all this. But we can't all do that, Eddie. But that's what I'm doing, man. You know, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, I would love to work with Eddie. Eddie won't return my calls. So maybe one day we'll have a conversation. But I think Eddie got to a place in his life, he's like, look, I've done it all. I've seen it all. Peace out. So, I don't know, I love to work with Eddie.
It's finally happening. After years of whispered rumors and shady side eyes, the curtain is being ripped open on one of Hollywood's biggest secrets. The male Me Too movement has officially arrived, and at the center of it is none other than Tyler Perry. Yes, that Tyler Perry. The empire builder, the media mogul, the man who practically trademarked wholesome storytelling. Well, now he's being dragged into the kind of scandal you can't write your way out of, and the allegations are downright disturbing. A bombshell lawsuit just dropped accusing Tyler of some deeply inappropriate predatory behavior on set, and suddenly the entire industry is acting like they didn't see it coming, even though they were all too happy to cash checks and look the other way for years. But you know who didn't play along? Eddie Murphy.
That's right.
While the rest of the industry cozied up to Tyler, Eddie kept him at arm's length. For years, Tyler practically begged Eddie to collaborate with movies, shows, shout-outs, you name it. But Eddie, stone cold silence. Not a single collab, not even a polite maybe next time. And now, with everything crashing down around Tyler, that silence speaks volumes. So let's get into it. What exactly is in this lawsuit? Why was Tyler so desperate for Eddie's approval? And what did Eddie sense long before the rest of us caught on?
The complaint, Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams.
Let's start with the lawsuit because it's huge. Actor Dixon, who starred in over 80 episodes of Tyler Perry's The Oval and Ruthless, has officially taken Tyler to court. And he's not holding back. The charges: sexual assault, harassment, retaliation, and creating an all-around toxic environment. The price tag: a staggering $260 million, 0 cents. But forget the number for a second, because the details are what will make your stomach turn. According to Derek, things started out promising. Tyler praised him, promised him production deals, even hinted at elevating his career. It all seemed like a dream until it turned into a nightmare. Derek says the praise quickly morphed into pressure, unwanted texts, groping on set, and an incident so traumatic in the Bahamas he still hasn't recovered. Tyler allegedly crossed every professional boundary and made Derek feel trapped, like his career was something dangling on a string. And it wasn't just suggestive texts either. Derek claims Tyler sent him creepy messages asking, "What's it gonna take for you to have guiltless?" He compared him to a rose that was so blocked you refused to be smelled or opened. One moment he's promising a pilot deal, the next asking what's position he is, then allegedly bragging, "When you have a big D and hit the G spot, they go crazy." Seriously. This is what Derek is alleging. Even worse, Tyler allegedly told him he wanted a friends with benefits type setup, preferably with someone who already had a partner. Why? Because Tyler didn't want emotions, just physical satisfaction. Derek says when he refused, everything changed. His character on The Oval, killed off. His calls, ignored. His pilot deal, gone. His mental health, in ruins. PTSD, depression, financial devastation, nearly $500,000 lost. Of course, Tyler's legal team immediately shot back, calling the whole thing a scam and a cash grab.
Attorney for Perry and his production company denied the allegations in a statement to Access, claiming that Dixon is, quote, an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. The statement went on to note that Perry, quote, will not be shaken down, and that his counsel is confident these fabricated claims will fail. When asked for comment, Dixon's legal team told Access that at this time they believe the complaint speaks for itself.
But here's the thing, this isn't coming out of nowhere. Rumors like this have followed Tyler for years. Derek might be the first to take it to court, but he's far from the first to hint something dark was going on behind the scenes. Christian Keys? About 2 years ago, Christian posted a video that shook the internet. He didn't name names, but his hints were loud and clear. 2 powerful black men in Hollywood had allegedly harassed him, and everyone assumed one of them was Tyler.
Has reminded me about, not just me, because it was brutal going through it, because it lasted for years.
Why? Well, Christian's roots in Hollywood were planted at Tyler's feet. His big break? Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman in 2005. He kept working with Tyler for years on projects like Medea Goes to Jail, What's Done in the Dark, and All the Queen's Men. So when Christian started talking about men who preyed on him, men he'd worked with extensively, the dots weren't hard to connect.
I've kept one of these on me since '05. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. And once I was like, well, I gotta protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is, the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police. There's a crime. Attempted sexual is a felony. Literally strategically planning my next 8 moves. I'm good. God got me, because he was watching when I was offered these opportunities and I didn't say yes. I didn't sell my soul or my ass. Excuse my French, y'all. I know some of y'all, hopefully y'all have no kids around, but I didn't sell nothing for success. It's like, nah, that's not what I want.
Christian didn't just say it happened once. He said it was relentless, repeated harassment, constant pressure. And he admitted he missed the statute of limitations, but still planned to turn over evidence, recordings, receipts, the works to the police.
Statute of limitations expire. It's not about money, but I'm gonna have to take the receipts, the recordings down to the police department and let them hear this individual. I wasn't working for him in the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I declined. Because again, scenic route. I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. But being that I wasn't working with him and we were in my apartment, he had visited my apartment to offer me a job of this fall, because the lead of this particular project was going to do something else, so he needed another lead. I recorded it because I didn't trust him, and I had told him over and over, and he still always tried shit. Just tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him in his voice. I have always kept.
But then Christian vanished. No more posts, no more updates, no follow through, and people started whispering again. Had Tyler quietly paid him off? Was there an NDA, a massive settlement to make it all disappear? Because now, with Derek's lawsuit bringing all these skeletons back out of the closet, Christian's video is resurfacing, and the internet is re-examining everything, especially Eddie Murphy. See, Eddie was one of the few big names who never jumped on the Tyler Perry train. And trust, Tyler tried. He praised Eddie publicly, offered him roles, pitched ideas, but Eddie never bit, never even humored the idea.
Have you ever thought of a Medea meets the Clumps? You know I love to come in here and give you some ideas.
Listen to me. I would love to work with Eddie. Eddie won't return my calls. Maybe one day we'll have a conversation. But I think Eddie got to a place in his life. He's like, look, I've done it all. I've seen it all. Peace out. So I don't know. I'd love to work with Eddie on something for sure.
You just gotta walk up on him the next time you guys are one of these Oscar
Eddie,
parties.
No, Eddie doesn't show up anywhere. Eddie is a recluse. He shows up nowhere. If I find him, I will corner him.
And let's be real, Eddie's not the kind of actor who shies away from wild roles. He's worn dresses, played outrageous characters, pushed boundaries, so it's not like he had a problem with the work. That wasn't the issue. Sources close to Eddie say it was something deeper, something instinctual. He just always felt something was off about Tyler. And maybe that's because Eddie saw the real Tyler, the one behind the Christian image, the one who hangs around sketchy prosperity preachers and Hollywood power players that make even the boldest stars uncomfortable.
Not Tyler Perry. And push the baby out.
Let's not pretend Eddie's past is squeaky clean. If you know, you know. But here's the difference. Eddie grew, he settled down, focused on family, removed himself from the party scene, reinvented his life. And that made him even less interested in someone like Tyler. Because to Eddie, this wasn't about turning down roles, it was about protecting himself from the mess Tyler was creating when the cameras stopped rolling. Now that the lawsuits are flying and the masks are slipping, Eddie's years of silence make perfect sense. He wasn't being arrogant, he was being cautious, smart, and now that distance looks less like a professional choice and more like survival. This time, it's not just about believing victims, it's also about asking hard questions. Who enabled Tyler? Who protected him? Who knew and stayed quiet? And just as importantly, who walked away? Eddie Murphy didn't just say no to a few movie roles, he said no to being associated with something he couldn't trust. That decision, once seen as a mystery, now looks like wisdom, strength, maybe even a warning. Because let's be clear, Tyler Perry's reputation isn't just under fire, it's being dragged, kicked, and examined under the ugliest spotlight. This lawsuit didn't just name him, it laid bare a pattern of manipulation, control, and abuse of power. And the receipts, they're chilling. Texts, screenshots, voice messages, promises made and pulled away, careers dangled like carrots, roles given and taken back, and always with the same undertone. Play along or get out. It's the exact same trap we've seen before. The powerful man, the rising star, the promise of success, then the switch, the pressure, the demands, the silence, and the damage left in its wake. What makes this case even more damning is the details. Derek Dixon didn't just accuse Tyler of misconduct, he described a calculated, ongoing pattern of behavior. The Bahamas incident? That wasn't a rumor. That was a cry for help. And as the internet replays that lawsuit line by line, fans and former fans alike are reevaluating everything. All those Tyler Perry films they once loved suddenly feel tainted. That empire he built on faith and family is starting to look like a smokescreen. But let's not forget what's happening behind the scenes. Tyler's legal team is already swinging hard, calling it a lie, a scam, a money grab, and maybe that strategy would have worked 5 years ago. But now, In this climate, people aren't so quick to dismiss survivors. Not anymore. And if Christian Keys really was silenced with a payout, as the rumors say, that silence won't last forever. Because now, thanks to Derek, the floodgates have opened. And once these stories start pouring out, there's no stuffing them back in. As for Eddie Murphy, he might not be on social media weighing in, but his actions speak louder than any tweet ever could. In an industry where alliances shift like sand, Eddie's refusal to cozy up to Tyler Perry stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. He knew. Maybe not everything, but enough to walk away. And that, right there, is what fans are clinging to. In a world where too many stars fall in line, Eddie stayed standing. And now, people are asking, who else saw what he saw? Who else turned Tyler down? Who else protected themselves from the storm that's now here? It's also making people relook at other stories, other players. Because Tyler Perry wasn't operating in a vacuum. He had friends, allies, enablers, people who boosted him, vouched for him, protected him. And now those people are being watched too. Already, fan pages and gossip forums are exploding with theories. Who will be the next to speak? Will Christian Keys break his silence again? Will Tyler settle this quietly? Or will more damning evidence hit the press? And let's not pretend Tyler can spin this. The lawsuit is public. The screenshots are real. The testimonies are painful. You can't wrap that up in a bow and call it redemption. Not this time. What's coming next is a reckoning, because what Derek Dixon described isn't just one man's trauma, it's a symptom of a larger sickness, a system that rewards power, silences victims, and buries truth beneath red carpets and box office success. But this time, the red carpet's on fire. And while Tyler's team scrambles while his defenders fall quiet, one man stands untouched. Eddie Murphy, the legend, the icon, the one who said no when everyone else said yes. Now that's a legacy. So what do you think? Is Derek Dixon finally pulling back the curtain on years of Hollywood hypocrisy? Was Christian Keys the first domino? And is Tyler Perry's empire about to fall the same way others before him did under the weight of the secrets it tried to hide? Whatever the outcome, one thing's for sure. The days of staying silent are over. The stories are being told. The truth is coming out, and this time, nobody's getting away clean.